All right, today is April 24th of 2023, and I got the last build stringer in. It's kind of a tough one to get in. There was a lot of places where, you know, we're not just notching into this 3 inches of frame, but 3.5 inches of this floor timber, and then another 1.5 inches here. So there's places, you know, 7, 8, 9 inches where I've got to notch out, and that's a lot of notching. But we got it. Here I had a little, oops. I couldn't quite get the 2x4 in there for that build stringer. So I debated what to do there. I was gonna actually just cut this back just a little bit here so I could get a 3/4 inch piece in there, and I was gonna just route out the half of the 2x4. Now that way, well, that's not gonna accomplish much. Now that way I could put one above or below it, but and then I was going to start running into other issues, hitting things here, and then we're so close here, it wasn't going to do a whole lot of good. And if you try to put one down here, then it's so low to there, it's, yeah. So I think I'm just going to leave it, leave that one out. But then I carried on, and I got to this last piece, and there's quite a bit of twist in this one, more than any other. So it curves towards the bow, but then it also twists as the bow straightens up from the flare of the hull to the, you know, to the stem. So this is the same problem I had, of course, on some of these planks on the sides. This didn't want to go in up here. This one went in all right, but this one here just did not want to do this twist here. So I drilled a couple pilot holes and put a couple 5/16 inch bolts in here to try to pull it in, and promptly broke them both off. So I either need to find a better bolt supplier or do something differently. So I wound up putting a couple of clamps across here to pull that top in, and then got a big C-clamp in here, and I got her pulled in there quite nicely. So the build stringers are done. Other than some cleaning up and whatnot, but that'll probably take place as I'm planking the side. But I still need to get some ballast in there. And so I've been wondering, you know, I used to collect a lot of wheel weights from tire shops and repair shops, auto repair shops and whatnot. That was a pretty efficient 20 years ago of getting lead. But it's not so efficient anymore, and lead's, you know, relatively expensive too. I've tried salvage yards, I can't find it. So what I'm thinking about doing is going around and picking up wheel weights, buying wheel weights from these shops, knowing that there are very little lead in them anymore. It's going to be mostly steel and some zinc also. But then actually casting those wheel weights into some concrete blocks, and then putting those blocks down under here. Of course, now that I got the build stringer on down here, that's going to make it a little more difficult. Nah, not too bad, but a little more difficult to get it in there. I even thought about the possibility of just taking those weights and throwing them into those heavy-duty bags, like sandbag type of bags, and then just shoving them up in there, which might actually be the easiest way to do this, if I think about it. Because I could kind of stack those in there as I'm planking up too, and push them out, you know, a little more towards the sides. Because if I pour concrete in there, boy, that's going to be hard to get in there. And I don't know how much I'm going to need. I was thinking maybe about trying to get about 1,500 pounds of weight in the middle here. And probably need that much again to trim the boat out and to ballast it. I don't know. You're not going to know that until you put the boat in the water. You can see how stiff or tender it is, and, you know, see how she lays to her lines. And I don't know. maybe some of those bags and some of that loose weight would be the way to go. I wonder what steel shot costs per pound. I wonder how expensive that would be. That would really contour nicely in there. The only bad thing there is you're not going to have water flowing past it. The limber holes would be more or less plugged up probably. And I know from watching Ship Happens episodes that that steel shot will rust and expand in place, and it'll be pretty much a permanent part of the boat. But it still would be an easy way to get weight in there. Yeah, I might have to see. And I'd have to see how much that steel shot costs too. Maybe that stuff isn't so terribly expensive that a guy could afford to do that. I don't know, but the next job, or what I started today on, was cleaning up in here. I've got a huge mess everywhere. The floor needs cleaned, which I've started doing that. The workbenches all need cleaned and organized. I need to get some of this wood out of here and make room for other things. I mean, pretty much all of this wood here now does not need to be here. There's no reason for it to be here. But I'm going to have to clean out another building to find a place to put this stuff. So, I got my work cut out, I think. But it's nice enough outside now that I can actually start doing a few things outside. I got my skid loader over here, and I got a bucket load of pieces of scrap wood and whatnot hauled out of here. And there's the dog eating all the cat food again. And I got my welder taken back over to the garage, so that doesn't need to be in here anymore. Been wanting to get that moved for some time too, but with the weather and the yard being so soft, I haven't gotten that done yet either. But anyway, so that's where we stand. What does it say? Today is the 24th of April.